Hey guys, it's Benedictines, the truth. One of the biggest mistakes that people in our community are making is convincing themselves that healing is impossible. They're convincing themselves that healing is impossible because the methods that they've been using to heal themselves do not work for them. What you need to understand is that you are so different. I don't think you understand how different you are from other people. How many people have you met in your life who are like you? How many people have you met in your life who understand what you understand? There have been many people who sent me messages telling me that they went for therapy and, well, didn't work. They went back home feeling much worse than they were feeling. You know, a therapist trying to help you will be like if someone just got their driver's license and they try to operate an airplane. That wouldn't work. You have to understand that you are more conscious than a lot of people. You have to understand that you are more conscious than the therapists that are trying to help you. You have to understand that people thinking that there's something wrong with you has to do with the fact that you're more conscious than them. You are conscious of things that they are not conscious of. And things ain't good in the world. Because you are more conscious than an average person and things ain't good in the world, you are able to see that things ain't good in the world. You see? And because of that, you're not going to feel good. Now, other people are just, going on with their lives. They live their lives like they're zombies. They only know what they need to know to survive. You know more than what you need to know to survive. You see? You understand more than you need to understand to survive. And you live in a world that is really wicked. So you cannot feel okay until you understand what I've been telling you the whole year last year. On the 12th of February 2023, I published a video titled How to Heal Completely. And I told y'all that I'm gonna make a follow-up video. And this follow-up video will be published on the 12th of February 2024. Today is the 12th of February 2024. That is why you are watching this video. I emphasized on the importance of realizing that nothing matters. I've been telling y'all that the only reason why when certain things happen, they hurt you, you feel hurt. You feel hurt because you think that these things actually matter. Right? Realizing that nothing matters is like a state of consciousness. It's like a state of awareness. Someone can tell you that, well, nothing matters, but you don't really understand what they're really saying. It's like you are capable of reaching a state of consciousness where you understand that nothing matters because you are already too conscious for an average person. Like an average person will never understand what I'm telling you. They will never understand that nothing matters. Like they just won't. They will stress about a lot of things that are not important at all. That is why they focus on things that you can see are not important. That's why They want to have children. They're not even conscious enough to realize how wicked the world is. They're just looking at themselves and like, okay, what do I want? Like, oh, I want to have a baby, and then they have a baby. But you are more conscious than an average person. You're able to see that even if I want to have a baby, but well, this world is just too horrible. Let me not have a baby. You're operating at a very, very high level of consciousness. You are able to understand, if you're vegan, for example, that the way that we're treating animals isn't right. That shows you that you're operating at a very high level of consciousness, because most people ain't even capable of understanding that. You see? I mean, I would respect people if they said, well, they do understand that the way that we're treating animals is wrong, but well, that's how things work. I'll be like, all right, so you're not willing to suffer in order to like make the world better. I get it. You're just weak, but at least you know the truth. But people are so delusional that they actually think that the way that we're treating animals is right. You see? They're not, like, they're operating at a very low level of consciousness. So you live with these people. You live with people who are incapable of seeing what is wrong about the world. But you are able to see what is wrong about the world. And being able to see what is wrong with the world is actually what's causing you suffering. I mean, you suffer like everyone else, but what really makes you suffer on the deepest level is actually realizing what is really wrong with the world. You see? That's what makes you suffer on the deepest level. So you suffer the way that other people suffer, but you also suffer on a much deeper level. You are able to see that something is wrong with this world. Something is wrong with the way that things work in this world. You're able to see that everything is upside down. You're able to see that, looking at the direction where the world is headed, you can see that, well, there is no hope. Things ain't going to change for the better. But they ain't able to see that because, well, they're not operating at your level of awareness. So you cannot use the methods that they use to heal. You shouldn't be using the methods that they're using to heal. You must understand how different you are. At your level of consciousness, you must understand that nothing matters. Because that is the truth. Nothing in this world matters. And when I say nothing matters, I really mean that nothing matters. You must understand this statement on every level. You mustn't tell yourself that, no, there are some things that actually matter in this world. It matters that I'm healthy. It matters that I'm in a relationship. It matters that, this person is in my life. It matters that I have money. It matters that I have this, I have that. Like, no, nothing matters. It's just that there are no words to like really describe this state of consciousness that I'm talking about. But if you can really realize, like for real, like at this moment you realize that nothing matters, you will heal like completely, because there will be nothing to worry about. There will be nothing that will make you feel like needs to be a certain way for you to feel okay. The truth is that there are a lot of things that are happening in the world that are wrong, but you do not have to think that these things actually matter. You don't have to focus on these things. Like, no, it matters that people are not having children, or people understand antinatalism, or it matters that people treat animals with respect. Listen, be real enough to tell people the truth, but them not understanding it is on them. You see, it's not on you. You're not supposed to feel angry because they don't understand you. You're not supposed to feel sad because they do not understand you. You didn't create this. You mustn't put a lot of pressure on yourself. That's the mistake that you're making. You're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. Oh, the world must be like this, the world must be like that. You see people doing things that are absurd, things that don't make sense, and you become angry. Like, oh, why are people like this? You know? Sometimes people do send me videos of people saying things that make no sense, and they tell me that, well, they feel angry when they watch it. I'm like, why do you keep like this? It doesn't even matter. It's stupid. Don't take it seriously. Learn to focus on what is important to you, or to put it more accurately, learn to focus on what you want to take seriously. Right? You see, nothing really matters, but if you decide that, okay, this is what I like, this is what I want to focus on. Focus on that. Take that seriously. Don't take anything else seriously if it doesn't matter. Learn to focus on what you want to matter. You see? Learn to focus on what you want to matter. Because the truth is that nothing matters. The problem is that you are focusing on things that don't matter, but that are happening around you. And they started to matter to you because you were focusing on them, you see? Even though the truth is that nothing matters. Now it's up to you what you feel matters in your life. So you focus on that. Learn to focus on what you feel like makes you happy. What you feel like is positive to you, other than the bullshit that is happening around you. Look at it this way. Let's say you had many DVDs around you, and you had the DVD player and many DVDs around you, and you just took any DVD that you see, like you didn't even try to read the plot, see what it's about. You just will take DVD and just, put the CD and watch. And when you're done watching that DVD, you remove it and then put another one. You know what I mean? Like, you just try to watch every DVD that's there. Like, no, try to watch the DVDs that you think you like. Just because you're surrounded by negativity around you doesn't mean that you must focus on this negativity. You know what I mean? Like, focus on what you want to focus on. Focus on what you want to take seriously. Focus on what you feel matters to you personally. You see? This is very important, man. This is very important when it comes to healing. Learn to focus on what you feel is going to make you feel better, other than focusing on everything. You see, the mistake that people be making is that they don't try to take control of their own minds. See, they let their minds wander. It's like if you were driving your car and you let it go wherever it wants to go. You know how to be like, you're not driving it. Drive your mind the same way that you drive a car. If you feel like it's going towards the wrong direction, steer the wheel. That is really important. Never let your mind wander. Never get lost in your own thoughts. You're surrounded by negativity, so it's up to you to find what's positive and focus on that. It needs to get to a point where even when a lot of negative things are happening, you don't even acknowledge that these negative things are happening. Like, you don't give a fuck. Like, it doesn't matter. You just let this negative shit happen. You know, like, it is what it is. It is what it is, right? And then you focus on what is positive, so that your subconscious mind will be filled with positivity. You see, that's how you heal. You need to fill your subconscious mind with positivity, because there are some things that are happening that are actually positive. And in by positive, I mean things that you actually want to see in the world. It's not like each and every human suck. You know, there are some humans that do not suck, you know, as much at least. You know, there are some humans that you like, you know. Like, okay, I'm not gonna focus on people who are saying garbage. Let me focus on people who are speaking the truth, you know. There are some things that are happening in the world. I remember I was watching this other video where some internationalists were giving people books that are related to antinatalism. Give them books for free. Like, that's positive. That's what you should focus on, you know. Focus on people that are doing things that are actually good in the world. Focus on events that are actually good, you know, events that make you feel good, than focusing on the negative thing. You see, we don't even know how to use social media. Because social media is new, you know. We don't even know how to use social media. Like, when people find negative shit online, they even wanna share it on our communities. Like, you find negative shit online and you wanna share it on our communities. Like, people must see how ignorant other people are. Like, fuck them. People are ignorant. You already know that. There's nothing surprising about that. You already know that people are that ignorant. What do? When you see some negative shit, scroll and find what is really positive. And you should do that even with your own mind. When thoughts come that are actually negative, you know, that make you feel bad, be like, phew, phew. And then when a thought comes that you like, that makes you feel okay, that makes you feel good, you're like, okay, this is what I gotta focus on. You see? Sometimes, and this is important to understand, sometimes you're going to forget what I'm telling you right now. Like, sometimes you're going to forget that nothing really matters. Sometimes you're going to forget to focus on the most important things. You know, things that are going to help you heal. So you will allow your own mind to wander around, and you find yourself lost in some bullshit thoughts, right? And your mind likes to wander around. That's something that you must realize. And it likes focusing on negativity. Believe it or not, your mind likes focusing on negativity. You want to know why it likes focusing on negativity? That's because once it focuses on negativity, because negative things steal our attention, your mind will focus. It's like you use a lot of energy on negative things, so your mind will focus on negative things because you're using a lot of energy on these negative things. Like, you focus automatically. It's not like it's easy for your mind to just find something else. You know, your mind works like algorithms. You see, on YouTube, if you're going to focus on certain topics, what YouTube is going to do is suggest videos that are related on that topic. You see, your YouTube is going to suggest videos related on that topic. So your mind also works that way. If it sees something that it steals its energy, it's going to focus on that. Steals its focus, it's going to focus on that. See, and negative shit will steal your focus, you know, than positive shit. Your mind wants to focus on things. That's why you dream, you know. Like, your mind doesn't want to just do nothing. Like, it wants something to focus on. And because negative shit is, I don't know why our minds love negative things, but well, I guess they steal our energy. So your mind will focus on these negative things. So yes, it will happen that your mind starts focusing on these negative things without you like consciously focusing on these negative things. That can happen. But once you realize that that is what's happening, and you remember that nothing matters, and you remember that you gotta focus on positive shit, pull yourself out and search for, positive thoughts that you can focus on. You see? Once you realize that, oh shit, I'm making that mistake again, I'm making that stupid ass mistake again, pull yourself out and then focus on the positive things. That's very important for you to do. There's some people who will even create fake scenarios in their heads, and even suffer because of these fake scenarios that they've created in their heads, or create fake arguments in their heads, and they suffer. It's like, because your mind hates to be bored, your mind hates to be bored. That's the thing. It wants something that's gonna steal its energy. So these fake arguments will steal your energy. Like when you're angry, all your focus is gonna be on what's making you angry, and you're gonna feel strong emotions. You see, your mind wanna focus on the kind of shit that will make you feel strong emotions. You see, the same way that YouTube will wanna focus on things that will make you feel strong emotions, things that you're gonna wanna focus on. So if you don't want YouTube to suggest certain videos to you, stop clicking certain videos. Stop watching certain videos. If you don't want YouTube to suggest videos about war, for example, stop clicking on videos about wars. YouTube ain't gonna be suggesting videos that it feels like you're not interested in. So to heal completely, you must focus 100% on the things that you want to focus on, things that you want to see happening. You see, you focus more on those things. What are the positive things that are happening in your life? Focus on that. You see, some girl broke up with you, but there's some girl that's showing some interest. Focus on that girl. Focus on that girl. You see, a lot of people hate you, but there's this one person that seems to like you. Focus on that person. Think about that person. Think about the nice things that they've said to you, that they've said about you. Focus on them. Well, if they start acting up, focus on something else. Always search for what's gonna make you feel good. You see? If I'm not feeling good, I'm thinking about a lot of negative things that are happening, and I remember what I'm telling you, that nothing matters. I remember to focus on things that I actually like. I'll ask myself, okay, what's going on in my life that's actually good right now? Like at this moment, what's going on that's good? Oh shit, I just got a text from that girl. That's good. Oh, I have this idea. This is a good idea. I must try to work on it and see, and see what's gonna happen. Oh, I got some money. Let me go and buy something that I've always wanted to buy. You see, you're focusing on positive things instead of focusing on negative things. I'm not going to lie to you and say there are no negative things that are happening. Like the world isn't dominated by negativity. No, the world is dominated by negativity. There ain't that many things that are happening that you'd actually like in this world. Like the world really does suck. You see, that is the truth. The world really does suck, and that is the truth. But you cannot lie to yourself and try to convince yourself that there ain't things that are happening that you actually like. If you feel that way, feel like there's nothing that's happening that you actually like, then try to do what you want to do. Are there things that you actually want to do that you haven't been doing? Think of the time when you were truly depressed because something happened, right? Maybe someone that you love broke up with you. Think of that time. Do you realize that at the time you felt depressed because you felt like that breakup was a big deal, you know? It was a big deal. It mattered that that person, remained in your life. Like you told yourself that lie, that it mattered. But now that you've healed, if you have, you realize that it didn't matter. It was stupid. But you convinced yourself at the time that it mattered, and the more you convince yourself that it mattered, the more it will hurt. You see? Like, this person is so important. I can never meet another person like this. No, it's just lies that you're telling yourself. Your mind can make anything important. That is why I'm saying you'd rather try to make some things matter, things that you feel are positive, and focus on these things, than to focus on things that are hurting you, because you've convinced yourself that these things really matter. Two weeks back, a young girl ended her life because she failed grade 12. Why did she end her life? Because she believed that failing grade 12 was a big deal. Like it was really a big, like she convinced herself that it was really a big deal. Like, oh, I should have passed. All my friends are going to university. I'll be left behind. It's a big deal. I mean, yes, there might have been other issues, but there are people who actually end their lives because they failed grade 12. So find that they don't have, they don't have other issues. They just can't stand the fact that they failed grade 12 because they convince themselves that it matters. Sometimes people lose their jobs and like, oh, it's a big deal. Like, no, it's not. There isn't anything that is a big deal. You just convince yourself that some things should be a certain way. And because of that, your mind will focus on those things because, well, they are a big deal. You convince your mind that these things are, are important. As you realize that nothing matters, and if you want your mind to focus on certain things, then convince yourself that these things matter. But the highest truth is that nothing matters, no matter what happens. Especially the things that happen to you. You mustn't care. You might lose some of the things that you have. You mustn't tell yourself, oh, it matters. This isn't like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. Just try to focus on what you want to focus on. The reason why it is important for you to realize that nothing matters is because I don't think there's any other way that you can be tortured in this reality. If you can realize that nothing matters for real and remain in that state of consciousness, then what will happen that can hurt you? Like, there's nothing that can happen that will actually be able to hurt you because you already realize the truth, which is that nothing matters. So this reality can try to create events that are going to traumatize you, but because, well, nothing matters, you don't care. Send people into your life that are going to try to hurt you in some ways, you don't care. You just only focus on what you want to focus on and let everything else pass. Learn to drive your mind the same way that you drive a car. That's important. People have never been taught how to actually drive their own mind, how to control their own mind. You can't control your thoughts, but you can control your mind. You can control what your mind focuses on. I'd like you to do this exercise the whole day today. Try. It's not going to be easy. Whenever your mind finds itself focusing on something that makes you feel bad, remember what I've been saying on this video. Try to drive it. Try to search for a better thought, a thought that's going to make you feel good. You'll see that you're not going to feel as bad as you used to. You know, you felt horrible because you weren't controlling your mind. You weren't focusing on the things that made you feel better. You were focusing on things that made you feel worse. So your subconscious is full of these negative things that are making you feel worse. You see? That is the real problem. Your subconscious mind is full of things that are making you feel bad. So you have nightmares, you know, when you dream, it's nightmares. And I do understand this is very important to get. I do understand that some of y'all are in situations that are so fucked up that it's so damn hard to focus on things that are positive. Like some of y'all are in situations that are dead fucked up, but still, you should train yourself to focus on things that are positive, even when you are, you know, in a very fucked up situation. Like I said, that even if you're surrounded by fire, focus on water. You see? That is really important. Yes, some situations are really that bad, but trust me, there are positive things that you can focus on. So just search for these positive things that you can focus on. And if you can't find positive things that you can focus on, I guess you can create fake scenarios in your head that are actually positive. You can do that. You can try to create a story in your head where things are actually working out for you. You know, you can do that and you feel good, because this is why I don't believe this is the real reality. Listen, your mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's fake. I want you to know that. You see, what you consider real or what you like, it doesn't give a fuck. Like if you're gonna have a nice dream, you're gonna wake up feeling good because you had a nice dream. If you're going to create a fake scenario in your head where things are working out for you, you're gonna feel good. Your mind is not going to be like, that's not real. Like, no, everything is real. Like, your mind doesn't give a fuck what it experiences, as long as it's an experience. To your mind, it's real. You know? So I tell people that it's like all dreams. Life is a dream and all dreams are real. That's the best way to put it. So you got to look at things that way. Like, to your mind, nothing is unreal, right? So you can try to create a scenario in your head where things are really working out for you, where you are winning, where you're a millionaire. You can start to think, well, if I was a millionaire, what would I do with the money? Oh, I will do this and that will make you feel good. And you can, you know, think about that all day, other than thinking, man, look at what's happening in this country. People are suffering. Man, my friend is pregnant. Man, people are so stupid. You know what I mean? You're filling your head with that shit. You're gonna pay for it. But you feel like, hey, whatever. Let me just focus on the positive shit. Let me try to. You do have the ability to create stories in your head. Isn't that beautiful? You can create any story in your head. Like, okay, let me create a story where I'm living in a world that's actually better than this. Let me create a story where the world actually changed and actually changed for the better. Where people start waking up because something has happened and they start realizing that they weren't living their lives right. You know, like, just do that. You deserve it. Like, do that for yourself. You don't have to be stressing. You see, only focus on the negative things when it matters to you. Like, okay, now I'm facing this situation and I need to do something about it. Let me do something about it, because, well, to you it matters at the time. Like, okay, I gotta do something about it. Boom. But then some of y'all be stressing 24/7 about things that you can't do anything about. You see? Like, you can't do shit about the shit that you be stressing about 24/7. So realize that in this world, nothing matters. And that is the truth. So there isn't anything to stress about. If you want your mind to focus on certain things, you can convince it that these things actually matter, because nothing really matters. Or the only things that you believe matter are the things that you've convinced your mind actually matter. You know what I mean? It's not because they matter. So the problem is that when we were growing up, we were conditioned to think that certain things matter. That's why the girl that I'm telling you about ended her life, because she felt grade 12. She was like, a teachers made her feel like it was a big deal. You see, like, you're gonna fail and you're gonna see your friends go to university. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna be your friends anymore. They're not gonna care about you anymore. You see, your boyfriend is gonna meet new girls. You know what I mean? He's not gonna care about you. Why would he care about you? He's gonna meet girls that are really good looking, bro. And then she starts to stress, like, oh, so it means I'm gonna lose my boyfriend. I'm gonna lose my friends. People are gonna laugh at me. My mom is gonna be disappointed. Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? But the truth is that none of this shit matter. You know, it will pass. You probably have to deal with it for like a week, but it will pass. You just need to go back to class if that's what she convinces herself is important. Go back to class. In South Africa now, people can go back to grade 12. They can go to any school, you know, and try to redo grade 12, and yeah, you know, that's good. Ever been so angry that you did something stupid, and then after doing something stupid and you start feeling normal again, you ask yourself, how did I do that? I'm insane. How can I do something? Let's say you get so angry that you break your TV, right? At the time, it will feel like it makes sense that you did, like, it. You know, it will make sense. It will make sense to do that at the time, because you're so angry. You believe that whatever happened justifies your anger. Like, you must be that angry. You deserve to be that angry. You know what I mean? But then once you start feeling normal again, you're gonna be like, what? I broke a TV because of a stupid argument that I was having with my girlfriend, or I was having with my boyfriend, or that I was having with my mom, that I was having with my dad, or that I was having with my sister, or like whatever. Like, really? So I broke my TV because of that? It was a stupid argument anyway. You see? You convince your mind that it wasn't a stupid argument. It was a necessary argument to have, and you deserve to feel the way that you will feel. You see, that's the problem. But if you realize right away that this is bullshit, this is stupid, I'm angry and I want to say something, but I'm gonna let it go. Doesn't matter. What's gonna happen is that you're gonna start feeling normal, and what's gonna happen is that there will be thoughts that will come into your head, or will try to convince you that no, it matters. It matters, actually, it matters. And no, you let them go. You don't pay attention to them. You let them go. Try to go back to feeling normal, and you realize that yeah, actually did not matter. I didn't have to argue with this person. I didn't need to fight with this person. You know. And you'll be fine. We find ourselves in unnecessary trouble because we focus on the wrong things. I do understand that we're addicted to focusing on the wrong things, because they steal your attention somehow, like your full attention. It's like once you find something negative, you focus on that thing 100%. You forget everything else. You forget that the world exists. It does that. Right? Steals your attention like that. Yeah, you've convinced your mind that those things are important, so they steal your attention. Learn to convince your mind that things that you actually want to be important to you are the ones that are important. You see, are the things that are important than to focus on the things that are negative, that are actually destroying you, that are actually making you feel bad. You see, that is how you get to heal. Nothing matters. You must realize that and learn to drive your own mind. So nothing matters. So if something is making you feel bad, you're like, no, I'm not going towards that direction. I'm not going to get lost in those thoughts, those thoughts that are making me feel bad. No way. Let me try to search for the thoughts that are going to make me feel good. Treat your mind that way. Try to imagine yourself driving your mind. You see? The same way that you'll be driving a car. You're not going to go where you don't want to go. If your car goes towards a certain direction, let's just say you fall asleep while driving and your car turns towards a certain direction, and then you wake up and you're like, nope, I don't want to go there. You see? So drive your mind the same way that you drive a car. Focus on the things that you like thinking about. Create fake scenarios in your head that make you feel better. The goal is to feel better, because the issue is this: if you're going to allow yourself to always feel bad, you're not even going to know how to do things that are positive in your life. Like, you'll be so trapped in negativity that everything that you do will be negative. Even if you're trying to do something positive, it would come across as something negative. It's like you bewitched yourself. So the more you focus on the things that are making you feel good, even when you're doing things that are actually bad, it's gonna feel like what you're doing is good. It's, you know what I mean? Like, you just be in the state where everything that you touch turns to gold. You know what I mean? Because you focused on feeling good. You focus on spreading that positive energy. So you find yourself talking about the negative things that are happening in the world, but people understand you because they can feel your positivity. It's like your energy is positive. It's not negative energy. You see? You gotta stop sending bullshit to your subconscious mind. Send what you want to send to your subconscious mind. There's something that I've realized about my subconscious mind. Let's say someone tells me something, right, that I do not like, tell me, and I don't even think about it, because in this world, people will say things that are gonna make you feel bad, right? People are gonna criticize you. People are gonna say, oh, there's this person who say this about you. You find that this isn't something that you like, and then you feel bad, right? But I've noticed that if someone comes to me and tell me that someone said something that I don't like about me, right? Tell me, they tell me something that I would not like to hear about myself. If I don't focus on what they said, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna dream about it, and my subconscious mind is gonna try to make me understand. You see, like, it's gonna, because I didn't try to solve it. I didn't try to focus on it. So my subconscious mind is gonna try to process it in its own way, and I'll be fine. Let's say someone come and tell me that my ex-girlfriend is dating my friend. I can focus on that. Like, shit. So my friend decided to date my ex. Wow. Really? Did my ex even love me? Did my friend even love me? How did he get her? Maybe he was saying some shit about me. Blah, blah. I'm focusing on that, and I start to feel angry, right? I start to feel hurt. What's gonna happen? My mind is gonna focus on that, because that's what's stealing its energy. You see? That's what I'm thinking about all the time. But let's say I don't give a fuck. Let's say someone tells me that, okay, your ex is dating your friend. I don't even think about it. Like, oh, really? Oh, cool. Then I start thinking about something else. It's gonna be there at the back of my mind, but it's not gonna be affecting me like that. You see, I'm not focusing on it, so it's not really gonna affect me. It's gonna try because I'm programming myself to believe that that matters, you know. So it's gonna try to affect me, but the more I focus on something else, the easier it will be for me to forget. What's gonna happen is that my subconscious mind is gonna try to process it in its own way. Wake up the next day, I'll be feeling much better. So learn to focus on the things that actually matter to you instead of focusing on the negative shit. You know, if people say shit that's negative about you, don't focus on that. Don't even try to explain yourself. Don't even try to create fake arguments in your head. Like, oh, here's what I would say to this person who say this about. Like, no, don't give it your energy at all. You see, you have the power to focus on the things that you want to focus on instead of the shit that's making you feel negative emotions. You see, they didn't teach you that. They programmed you to focus on shit that doesn't matter. You are too conscious to be focusing on everything. I want you to understand that you are too conscious to be focusing on everything. Everything that happens, you want to focus on it. No, you're not going to feel good because you are too damn conscious. And there are a lot of negative things that are happening. There are things that are happening that a normal person won't even be able to see that these things are happening. But you are able to see that these things are happening. You see the difference? So of course they'll feel good, even if they don't realize that nothing matters, because they're not seeing everything, but you're seeing everything. So you can heal completely. I'm giving you the trick to heal, and the reason why I'm giving you this trick is because it actually did work for me last year. I feel much better than I did when I made that video last year about how to heal completely, because I've been using this method. Like, every time when something that I don't like happens, like, try to convince myself that it doesn't matter and try to focus on what I want to matter. All right? And you must also understand that there's a difference between being traumatized by something but acting like you're not traumatized by it, right? And just something happening but avoiding it and focusing on what you want to focus on. Sometimes things happen and they actually do traumatize us, and they make us feel a certain way, and we don't deal with these things at all, right? And I'm talking about something like that's truly traumatizing, that you, at the time, you gotta deal with it, because there are some things that you don't gotta deal with, but there are some things that if they happen, you literally have to deal with these things. And then after dealing with these things, you forget about them and focus on other things. So I'm not saying you must, when bad things happen, you must just pretend to be good. Like, I'm okay. Something horrible has just happened. I'm okay. Try to, say things that are positive and all that. No. If something that has happened is negative, acknowledge that it is negative. Acknowledge how it made you feel. If it's something that you gotta deal with at the time, deal with it. But if it's something that you ain't gotta deal with, acknowledge that it happened, it has hurt you, and it is negative, and then focus on what you want to focus on right away. Because people say positive affirmations, try to convince themselves that they weren't affected by things the way that they were affected. No, you were affected, but it doesn't matter. Focus on what matters. Like, that's how you process these things in this reality, and then it will probably get processed in some ways in your dream or in other states of consciousness. The reason why I don't like positive affirmations is because people try to convince themselves things that they know that are not true. Like, you're not dumb. You're too conscious. I mean, maybe positive affirmations work for people who are not as conscious as you are, but you are too damn conscious to be saying positive affirmations. Like, it just won't work for you. Let's say you're ugly and you say, I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful. Here's what's gonna happen. You don't believe that you're beautiful, right? You don't believe that you're beautiful. One day someone's gonna tell you that you're ugly and you remember that shit. Because you don't really believe that you're beautiful, and then it's gonna hurt, right? What you tell yourself is that, well, I might be ugly, but it doesn't really matter. I didn't create myself, whatever. Like, you accept that, and you don't make a big deal out of it because it is not a big deal. So you tell yourself the truth. It's not a big deal. Focus on other things. You see, if you were missing a finger and you told yourself that you weren't missing a finger, one day you'll be walking in the street and someone say, oh, that person's missing a finger, and it will hurt you because you're lying to yourself. I'm missing a finger. Doesn't really matter. I'm still here. If you enjoy this experience, I'm gonna do other things. Focus on the fact that I still have my hands or whatever. No stress. Positive affirmations are just, I think they're just not for stupid people, but for people who can brainwash themselves. People who are easy to brainwash. It's not easy for you to brainwash yourself. I love making these videos, man, because I've been working out, walk for like an hour and a half. Some people don't even walk, man. Like, they don't work out. They don't work out at all. They just eat. Now, what do you think is gonna happen? Buy a skipping rope. Something. If you don't want to walk, buy a skipping rope or something. Do some aerobics or something, do some push-ups. Like, you don't have to work out like a bodybuilder or you want to join the Olympics. No, just do some basic workouts and you'll be fine. Yeah, what you must understand is that healing is possible. You do not heal by taking medication. Sometimes you can heal by taking medication depending on your problem, but most of y'all, you just need to focus on the right things for you, things that make you feel good, and realize that nothing really matters. Whatever you're dealing with, it's not a big deal. It's not a problem. It's nothing. You just convince yourself that it's a big deal. It's a problem. So you're embarrassed about something. Maybe something embarrassing has happened to you, and you're like, it's a big deal. It's not. It's not a big deal. It doesn't matter. Stop convincing yourself that it matters. Stop convincing yourself that it's a big deal. Someone said something about you. It's not a big deal. It's fine. It's humans. They say whatever they want to say. That doesn't really matter. And you must also understand that we live in a world that we don't understand. It is also possible that there are some beings that are, making certain things happen because maybe they want energy from you. So when you feel bad, maybe they get energy. Maybe that's the reason why sometimes you have nightmares. So you must understand that there are a lot of things that are happening that you do not understand. So don't make a big deal out of anything, man. Try to be carefree. Try to be stress-free. Only focus on things that you feel you can change, and if you feel like you must change these things. Sometimes things can happen that you don't really need to change. Sometimes a person can come to you and say horrible things to your face, and you say nothing and you let them go, and you don't even think about them after they've left. You see, you're in a situation where you can try to make them understand. something that they probably do not understand, but you can be like, you know what, it's not worth it and I don't care, so it is what it is. I'm gonna let this person say whatever they're saying and then let them leave. I've been in those situations where I'll let a person say the most ignorant shit and they just be chilling and they leave, and as soon as they leave I forget about them and focus on something else that I wanted to focus on, and I end up never stressing about what they've said ever again, because I've convinced my mind that it doesn't matter. You see, it's nothing, it's not a problem, it's not something that I must be thinking about. But the moment you convince your mind that, oh shit, it matters, so this person come into my home and say all these things about me, for what? You know, people are so fucking stupid. Why will this person do this? Why will this person say this, blah blah blah? You know, of course you're gonna feel angry. Even when, you see, I even feel you know, some anger saying what I'm saying now, even though there isn't a person who has said anything about me and I'm not even thinking about anyone, but I even feel some anger. You know, you must realize how powerful your mind is. You're not supposed to be feeling bad. Don't allow yourself to feel bad. You know, this world sucks so much that you ain't gotta make yourself feel much worse than you do. Be selfish. You know, don't go where your mind wants you to go if you don't feel like you want to go there. Your mind usually wants to go where it's gonna find something that's gonna keep it focused, you know. Don't do that to yourself. Things that are your mind likes to focus on are things that are negative. It's easy for your mind to focus on negative things than for you to focus on positive things. And besides, we live in a world where a lot of things that are happening are things that are not positive. You know, we live in a world where a lot of negative shit is happening, so of course your mind will learn to focus on negative shit because it wants to focus on something, and there ain't positive things that are happening. Your mind doesn't like to be bored, man. That is why it's hard for people to meditate. To meditate until they reach this state where their bodies start to vibrate. You reach that state when you clear your mind, you know, stop thinking. That's almost impossible. You know, it's hard for me to put myself in that state. I've only been able to do that like 3-4 times, but it's hard. Because we find ourselves focusing on a lot of things. So try your best to clear your mind and focus on things that you like. Focus on watching videos that make you feel good on YouTube. If you see a video of some pastor saying some ignorant shit, don't even click that video. Because maybe you hate ignorance so much that when people are saying ignorant things, you just like you feel bad, like you don't feel the way that you want to feel. So yeah, take control of your mind, man. That is what a lot of people are not doing. They're not in control of their own minds. You treat your mind as if it's not your mind. Like it's not, you own your mind, it's yours. Control your mind. Focus on what you want to focus on. I actually do think that if you learn to focus on what you want to focus on and what you like, I actually do think that if consciousness creates reality, if your mind creates reality, then it will start creating this, because it has being bored. I want you to get that. So it will start creating these situations where these things that you focus on are happening, because it doesn't want to be bored. It wants to focus on certain things, and you're training it to focus. You are showing it what it needs to focus on. It's your mind. This isn't someone else's mind, it's yours. It's important that you realize that. It's important that you know that. Thank you all, guys.